I'm going to tell you how to plan your videos so you get better results here on YouTube, and we're starting right now.
That's just how it is. Ain't waiting on me.
What is going on? My name is Nick. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos, and all types of other YouTube related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Okay, they say that failure to plan is planning to fail. So I'm gonna help you not fail by showing you how to plan your videos that will get views for you here on YouTube. Now, this is a 5-step process, and each one of these steps have small little stems that come off of it, but you wanna make sure that you watch this whole thing, because if you miss one of these steps, then it can end up costing you the result that you're after. The very first step, as obvious as it sounds, is you gotta come up with that video idea, because if you don't have an idea, you don't have a video to make. I have an entire playlist of videos on my channel on how to come up with video ideas, so I'm not gonna waste your time with that so that we can move on to number 2, which is purpose. It's important to know why you're making the video in the first place. It's important to know the value that you're bringing to other people with that video. So we're gonna break that purpose down into a few different things. The very first is, of course, the goal of that video. What is it that you are trying to accomplish with that video for yourself, for your channel, for the mission that you happen to be on? And then the viewer value is basically what your viewers are going to get out of watching your content. Now, both of these are gonna help you in 2 totally different ways. The goal side is gonna help you make sure that you're making content that supports the direction that you're trying to head with the content that you're making, or the reason that you're on YouTube. And the viewer value side of it ensures that the people that are watching your video are gonna walk away with something. Or in other words, that your video is going to be worth watching for the viewer. Another thing that falls under purpose is a playlist. So let's say, for example, that part of the reason that you're making this particular video is to continue a specific playlist or a specific series, then in that case, that would also fall under purpose. So you would have your goal, you would have the viewer goal, and then you would also have what playlist that you were wanting to add this video to. Number 3, the next one on this list, is you want to qualify the video. And what this means is that you want to make sure that there's enough people that are going to be interested in this in order to make it worth making the video in the first place. Part of this is also doing keyword research as well, to where you go and you make sure that it is something that you have a chance of ranking for with your video. Another part of the qualifying process is you want to search YouTube and you want to see the videos that come up for that particular topic. And then within that particular topic, you want to say, okay, how many views are these particular videos getting? How big are the channels that are making this specific content, and do I have a chance to compete with my channel? Another disclaimer, if you are really good at making thumbnails where you get a really high click-through rate, you're getting tons of reaction to the videos that you're putting out there, then you can compete against bigger channels. But in most cases of the stuff that I'm seeing out there on YouTube, it's not something that a lot of newer content creators can just slide right into. And that's why qualifying is such an important part of the process, because you want to make sure that you're making content that has the potential to get discovered on YouTube when people are looking around for that specific topic. Now, if we put this into a real life example, let's say that you are considering making a video called How to Beat Fortnite, or How to Win at Fortnite. Well, the competition for that, I'm guessing, is probably gonna be pretty fierce, so that would tell you that it's probably not the best video to make. If you're making fashion content, let's say, for example, you do men's fashion, then in that situation, how to tie a tie, even though it gets tons of searches, there's tons of interest in it, people are looking for it all the time, the channels that own those spots typically are going to be really hard for a new channel to compete with, unless that channel's really good at keeping people watching, clicking their thumbnails at a high rate, getting that engagement, and going all the stuff that YouTube is looking for. But most new creators haven't learned how to do that yet. Next up, number 4, is you want to identify your target. What I mean by this, because I'm assuming that you already know who your target audience is and you know who the target viewer is that you're trying to reach. Now we're actually trying to find a target for that specific video, and that target in a video sense typically comes down to a keyword or a keyword phrase that you're trying to bring attention to that video for. Now, when identifying your target, keyword research becomes critical, and it's not necessarily that you're trying to just rank that video in search, but it's that you're trying to compile all of your metadata to explain to YouTube what your video is actually about. And if you don't know what metadata means when I say that, it simply means your title, your description, and your tags for that particular video. But the idea that I'm trying to focus you on here is you want to identify that target, and then you want to do the research for that target to see what your chances are for a specific term or phrase, and then you want to start making modifications to where you can make something to where you're going to be a little bit more qualified for. But here's the big idea. With the targeting, all you're trying to do with that is you are trying to identify a specific thing that you're trying to say that your video is about, so that you can optimize everything with your video, your titles, your tags, your description, so you can optimize all of that stuff to better tell YouTube what your video is about, so that YouTube can show that video to the right person that is the most likely to watch it. Because that's how YouTube works. If you're not familiar with how to do the targeting and how to do that research, I'll put a link to a tool called TubeBuddy down in the description below. They have something called a keyword explorer that can help you through this process in a major way. The next part of planning your content, number 5, I should say, is coming up with a link plan. One thing that YouTube really likes is that when somebody is watching one of your videos, they really like it when they go and they watch another one of your videos. So knowing that, it's important that you link together your content in a way that it makes sense for people to hop from one video to the next video. For example, when I mentioned earlier about the very first step in this being to come up with a video idea, and I mentioned to go to my channel and look for other videos, well, one thing that I could have done is I could have put a card at the top of the screen for video ideas, and because it was relevant to what it was that I was talking about, it would make sense for the people that would be interested in how to come up with video ideas to click on that and go watch it. And real quick, it's important for me to tell you that it's better to do that at the end of the video than it is at the beginning. It's what YouTube recommends. But the idea here is that you want to make sure that the video that someone is watching, whatever videos that you're linking to, that they are similar in interest to the person that's watching that original video, so they're more likely to go and watch that second video. But let's get back on track here. The idea is basically to put together a link plan to where from within each video, you know what videos you're going to link out to from that video, you know on your end screens what videos you're linking out to, you know that if you're putting a card at the top of the screen, you know what video you're gonna link that to, you know what videos you're gonna link your pinned comments to. Having an overview of this and taking it from just planning the video at the video level and scaling that out to the month level can really help you generate a lot of your own internal traffic, which is something else that YouTube really likes. And real quick, I want to let you know that if you are an iPad or a tablet user with a pencil input, that I actually made something that will help you through this process. It's something that I use that helps me through mine, and I'll put a link to that down in the description below. But of course, the next step in the process is to actually create the content that you planned out. And I'm actually going to put a link to that playlist right here of video ideas. So if you are somebody that needs help with coming up with video ideas, make sure that you check that out right now. And to learn more about growing your channel, making videos, and all types of other YouTube related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.